Yuzu is the most used Nintendo Switch emulator. To set it up there are a few things you need to know, so let's get right into it. First of all, you need to head over to yuzuemu.org and the link will be in the description below. Once you're on the site, to download it, simply click download and right here click download for Windows x64. You can save this file pretty much anywhere and I already got it downloaded. So I'm going to download it again to show you that it does actually work. While this is downloading, there is one thing I really want you to check out before you use Yuzu, which is the compatibility page. Over here you can see most of the games and you can see if they work perfect, great, okay, bad, intro or whatever. So this isn't 100% accurate because they are user generated, but they could get you quite a bit, so a game which should work perfectly will work a lot better than one that just gets into the intro menu. So that's one thing to keep in mind and check out if new games do or don't work. So right now let's head over to the installer. So we just download the exe file and make sure to run it. Now it will ask you if you want to install Yuzu, and of course we do. Previously you had to choose between Nightly or Canary, but these two are merged into one and now we just got a single Yuzu version, which is a lot better. So right now on screen you can see thank you for installing Yuzu, and you can find the installed applications in your start menu, so I'm just going to search them up. And right here we already got Yuzu. You will also see you got a Yuzu maintenance tool. I don't really recommend using it unless you know what you're doing, but to get it working just open up Yuzu right here. Now the first thing it will tell you is that it's missing some configurations. And that's because we haven't put in the keys, which you will do in just a second. So right here press OK. And if you do, it will ask you to send over anonymous data to help improve Yuzu. I want to make Yuzu a lot better, so I'm just going to click yes, but it's really up to you and it doesn't matter if you do or don't accept this. So now let's get the keys. These will be in the description below, and myself I got them in Switch. And right here it is a file called Prod.keys. So you need to copy this, so press Ctrl C. And now head over to the local disk, your C drive, then users, your user. Head over to app data, and if you can't see this you need to click view and you need to select hidden items. If this is unselected you won't see app data. So go there. Now go into roaming. Once you're into roaming, scroll down until you see Yuzu, open it up, and here you need to make a file called keys. So make a folder called keys. It is really that simple. And right here paste a single file and you are good to go and Yuzu should be working. So if you don't see this folder, that means you haven't opened up Yuzu. So open it up and then the folder in app data will be created for you. But now we're good to go and you can here double click to add a new folder to game library. So double click it and it will open a new window. Here go to wherever you stored all your ROMs. For me this is in Switch and then ROMs. But it doesn't really matter where this location is. So select the folder and all the games will be loaded in just a second. So now let's get over to the actual setup, and there are some settings that could change a lot in Yuzu. So for this you need to go to emulation and here click configure. Over here already are some important features. I always recommend to leave the limit speed percent at 100%. If this is disabled or higher, it could increase the game speed to whatever percentage you put it to, or just unlimited, which could make many games unplayable. The next three settings are really up to you. I just recommend the way they are, but you can enable and disable these three and it doesn't really matter, just what you prefer. In the web options you can select a username and token for the Yuzu web service. This is if you want to report compatibility, and if you don't and if you just want to play games, just skip this step. And you can sign up right here and verify it. For the telemetry, I just enabled this when it got prompted. And right here you can enable and disable the share anonymous data to the user team. And it is really up to you. Right here we got the Discord presence. And if you enable this, people on Discord can see what game you're playing. I think it's pretty fun, so I'm just going to keep it enabled. In the debug tab, don't touch anything unless you are a developer. And if you are, I wonder why you are looking at this video. For the game list, I recommend to just leave it at the default. It doesn't really change anything. You could increase the icon size or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. For system, there could be a few interesting settings here. So you don't really have to change anything on the first page. You could change the language right here. The sound output mode doesn't do anything and the games do it itself. So if you change this to stereo, it won't work and it will get back to mono in the settings. So just don't touch it. You could also make a console ID, so regenerate it, a custom time and an RNG seed. Right here you can change the profiles. So if you click it, you can rename it and to whatever you want. Again, you don't really have to do this. You could also set an image or you could add a new account and it's really up to you. For the services, this is a really interesting feature. We got BoxCat, and if this is enabled in some games, you could get some additional items. For example, in Super Mario Odyssey there are some costumes that could be unlocked. So that could only be unlocked if this is enabled. It isn't really required, but it is a nice feature to have. For the file system, I'm going to assume you don't have any switch on your hand which is modded, because that's the way you're using Yuzu. So don't touch any of these unless you got a switch and your NAND's dumped. For the audio, I recommend leaving this at the default. You could get a little more performance if you disable this, but it is really minor and I really recommend just leaving it enabled. So for the graphics, there are actually some really important settings right here. First of all, always keep use disk shader cache enabled. This will mean if a game loads a shader, it will lag for a second, it will save the shader to your disk, and if it tries to access the shader again after a reboot, it will just load it without any stutters, so just keep this enabled. I never recommend to use the accurate GPU emulation, because this is really slow and it doesn't really improve anything. I do really recommend to enable the use asynchronous GPU emulation. This will mean that the emulator uses 2 cores instead of 1, which is a pretty big improvement and it can improve performance a lot. Some games may still be incompatible with it, so if your game experiences some crashes or whatnot, you could try it without this enabled, but generally speaking it is really compatible with most games and it will get some great performance bumps. For the Force 30 FPS mode, this is still in it because it was introduced in an earlier update and it should be automatic by now. So if a game needs 30 FPS, it will just enable it itself without this setting. But if you want to force a game at 30 FPS, you can do it right here. Games like Super Mario Odyssey, which run at 60 FPS, will be half the speed, so just don't touch it for most games unless you know what you're doing. For the internal resolution, this doesn't change anything, so just keep it at native. And you could change the background setting, but that doesn't really matter. Some more interesting settings are in the controls. This is actually really important for some games, because if you're going to play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, you need to select single player handheld undocked. This is because the game won't launch otherwise, so keep it this way, click configure, and here configure the buttons. Just click one and press any key or button you want to bind to it. So I'm going to pick OK right now. And for other games, I recommend to use the docked setting, because the docked mode could get better performance, or it could get better quality, so the resolution will be enhanced. So you can try both, and generally speaking, I stick to docked mode unless I'm playing Pokemon Let's Go. You can also make a whole custom preset right here, so click configure. Here you can add multiple controllers, you can use docked mode, Joy-Cons docked, the mouse, keyboard, debug, touchscreen. But again, to keep this guide simple, we're just going to use these two. So I'm going to set up the docked mode, click configure, and I'll set up my controller, and I'll be back to you when I'm done. Alright, right now the setup is complete, and one thing I do want to mention, in the file you can install file to NAND, so if you want to use an update you can do it right here. There are also a few options like full screen right here, which is just F11. You can reinitialize the keys, again don't touch it if you don't need to, and there's a help thing right here about Yuzu. And if you got it set up, you can report compatibility on any game right here. If you right click a game, you can change some things. You can here open the save data location. So if you press it and go to your file, right here already saved for the games if it is used. And if you want to change it or load in a save, just paste the files right here and it should work. If you want to use mods, just click open mod location and put the folder right here. I got a whole modding guide on Yuzu, So if you want to use it, just click the eye in the top right corner. Also right here is open transferable shader cache location. And right here it says a shader cache file does not exist because I haven't played this game yet. But if you have played the game, you can go there and there's the shader cache. Sadly we can't import them because the shader caches are invalid after a few updates normally. So right now just don't touch it. Also if you want to mod the game, you can dump the ROM FS. You can copy the title D to clipboard if you want. And right here are the properties. There are just a few things in there and these are pretty basic. And if you want to have mods in the add-ons, they should be here if you put them in the right folder. You can enable and disable them right here. But to show off some gameplay, I'm going to load up the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. And as you can see right now, this game does work properly. And many games do. Sadly, I can't show you any gameplay of games like Pokemon or Mario Odyssey because Nintendo just takes down the guides with those. So I hope you enjoyed this guide and I hope you got Yuzu working. If you didn't, just let me know in the description below and I will make sure to help you out to the best of my extent. And I'll see you in the next video.